Hey ladies, welcome to day 10. Drum roll. We're officially halfway there now, ladies, and I hope that you've had a beautiful week so far. Happy Friday, TGIF. Although most of us aren't going anywhere, but it's still Friday. Um, so I hope you ladies are doing well, and that you found that these videos this week have helped you in some sort of way, to get you thinking a little more in depth about yourself and your relationships, creating boundaries, releasing expectations, being your authentic self, learning to discern your energy and how you want to use your energy, and also being playful and having a good time in the process. Because if we focus on the dark things, or what we quote unquote consider negative, the task of self-love and self-improvement can become very daunting. However, there are those deep and darker issues that we all have to work on, and we have to realize we need to take the time to do those things. And although yesterday's topic, I tried to lighten it up a little bit with talking about being playful, there are many emotions and feelings that I know that I go through on a regular basis, especially with self-improvement. But I know that you ladies and everyone goes through these things as well. So today our focus is going to be, we're going to be talking a little bit about anger, and we're going to be talking about forgiveness. But what I have on the screen here is something that I wanted to keep you ladies in mind of, and to also, you may not even know about this. So I'm a Reiki practitioner, so that means that I also, on top of doing things like this, I like to be a conduit for energy to flow to help people heal. So if you want to know more about Reiki, I can tell you about that later on. But on the index card you see there, those are the 5 Reiki principles. And when I wake up every morning, I try to make sure that I recite these things to myself, these 5 principles, before I start my day, to get my energy, to get my mindset on the right page. And I find that when I don't do this, when I don't dedicate that time to myself and setting the tone of my day and setting my mind right in the beginning of the day, that's normally when I end up feeling things like anger and other emotions that I try to make sure that I work through when they arise, but I try to avoid them if I can by working from a wholesome place at the beginning of my day. So these are the 5 Reiki principles, and this is how it goes. So this is what you would do. You would recite this to yourself in the morning or throughout the day whenever you're feeling like anger is coming up, or frustration, or whatever type of emotion that is causing you to reach a point to where you feel like you may respond to yourself or others in a negative way, in a way that is not loving, but a way that may express anger. So it goes like this. Just for today, I will not worry. Just for today, I will not be angry. Just for today, I will do my work honestly. Just for today, I will give thanks to my many blessings. And just for today, I will be kind to my neighbor and every living thing. And I find that the more that I say this to myself every day, the better I feel throughout the day, but I also feel better the next day. And I feel more present and aware of my many blessings that I have throughout the day. And I realize that nothing should put me into an emotional state of mind during any day that is going to evoke anger or make me feel so much frustration that I blow my top. And so let's talk a little bit about anger. So a very strong and primal emotion, anger, sometimes catches us by surprise. At other times, it seethes just under the surface, simmering a long while until it boils over, scalding anyone who was close. Anger is based in fear. Fear of loss of control, fear of not being loved, fear of being judged, fear of not being enough. When anger enters your life, be it yours or someone else's, go beneath the surface and try to address the real fear that has triggered it. Anger doesn't go away without addressing the underlying fear. So whenever you feel anger, a sense of anger, it's like this says, it's some sort of fear that is causing this anger to bubble to the surface. So when we learn to figure out what it is we're afraid of and to live in a mind frame of faith over fear, you start to learn that your heart is the ruler of faith and your ego is the ruler of anger and of fear. So when you go more into your heart space and figure out what is causing this anger, you're able to figure out what you need to do for yourself that will allow you not to have this emotion come up either as often, or as you practice these tactics and like these Reiki principles, you will notice that anger comes up less and less, because you are no longer fearful of the unknown, but you have faith in the unknown and knowing that whatever happens is going to be to your benefit. So once you learn to figure out the source of the anger, you're able to forgive and practice forgiveness. And it has been said that forgiveness is the greatest gift that we can give ourselves. Forgiveness of others, but also forgiveness of self. We are the most critical and judgmental of ourselves. The inner critic does so much more harm than criticism that comes from others. Forgive yourself for trusting others and getting hurt, for not knowing, for not seeing, for not believing. You are human and you are growing and learning. Human perfection is rooted in imperfection. Okay? So when we find the source of our anger, we can address how to heal ourselves, because it's no one else's obligation to do so. And once we've begun the process of healing, we learn forgiveness and we learn to live in love instead of hurt and pain and anger. All of those are things that decrease your vibration and pull you farther and farther down. But when you learn to control your anger and not be easily angered, and to learn to easily forgive not only yourself but others, that's when your vibration increases and you ascend to the unlimited possibilities that you have available to your life, and for how you can make your life and manifest it to be what it is you want it to be. But it comes first with self-work, with self-love, working on, well, why do I always have these negative emotions coming up? What is triggering me in my environment? Or is it people in my environment? Is my general environment triggering and evokes anger? If you sit down and you think about these things, then you learn a lot more about yourself, and you learn how to separate yourself from the things that cause anger. Okay? And a part of the process is forgiving yourself and forgiving others, and understanding that we all are on our own paths. We all have our own trials and tribulations that we go through. And, a lot of times we project things on other people, and they have no idea why we're projecting, because we only know a small amount about each other's lives. Like, you don't know what I have going on in my personal life, and vice versa. But as long as we act from a loving place, from a place of compassion and forgiveness and faith in ourselves, and faith in that the future and that tomorrow will be better, and that each day is about becoming better and progressing, then we feel better at the end of the day, and we also will feel better the next day. So not only do you see the card here, you see what is called a Zen Garden. And this little Zen Garden I got from the dollar store. So I find that when I feel a sense of anger or frustration, I don't really get angry much anymore, but when I start feeling myself getting frustrated, I learn to focus that energy on doing something else, something that I can focus on to relieve that energy in a positive way that is going to have me thinking constructively and feeling from a heart space. And I like to use my Zen Garden for that. So last time I did my Zen Garden, I, made this little zigzag pathway with the gravel, and I was reminding myself when I made it that life is a series of steps. Some steps are smaller, designating the smaller rocks, and some are bigger, but it's not about how big or small the issue is or the journey is. It's about getting over one thing and getting through the next, and learning lessons along the way that are going to strengthen me and going to enable me to be my best version of myself authentically. And to be able to do that from a loving place, a place that doesn't project anger or frustration, and also learning to forgive myself and others in the process. If we hold on to fear and anger, you limit yourself to the possibilities of your life and being in a happy state of mind versus in a state of mind where you are being consistently negative or just in a bad mood maybe. So ladies, I want to encourage you today to focus on what things anger you, what may trigger you. Are they a part of relationships that you need to separate yourself from? Is there an environment you need to start working towards separating yourself from? Or is it worth the effort? Is it necessary, and is this relationship or situation for your greatest good? And if you would like to use these Reiki principles, you can Google probably 5 Reiki principles and they'll come up, and just recite these things to yourself every day at the beginning of your day, or throughout the day if you feel these emotions come up that may hinder your progress. So I hope this video has helped you in some way and get you thinking about how to not get angry and to anger less and to forgive more. And I hope you ladies have a beautiful rest of your Friday. I'm going to post a video tomorrow for the weekend, and we'll do story time again for that. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please feel free to email me or comment below. And please make sure, if you know any ladies that could benefit from any of these messages, please feel free to share the videos. This does not have to be shared, in this 21 time frame. You can do this over and over again. They can, this is something that doesn't have to be done right now. So maybe this video, can inspire someone who angers easily, or needs to work on forgiving. Whatever it is, if it can help someone, please share. Ladies, I love you. Have a beautiful day, a beautiful weekend, and I will talk to you again tomorrow. Bye.